Continuous warnings echoed across Beijing and the surrounding mountain villages from September 23rd to 25th, 2025. Alarm bells and sirens blared incessantly, creating a chaotic atmosphere and urging residents to evacuate immediately. From the city center to highland villages, the sirens never stopped, pushing people to move away from dangerous areas before the floodwaters arrived. In western and northern districts such as Manugu, Fangshan, Hao, and Chongping, the Moon River and its tributaries turned into raging torrents. Bridges and overpasses were almost instantly destroyed under the force of the floodwaters. Many long-standing bridges collapsed entirely, plunging into muddy waters. Stone and steel structures that had stood for decades were torn apart. In the mountain villages, entire homes perched on hillsides vanished, swept away by mud flows and flash floods. Winding hillside roads were shattered. Asphalt peeled off like paper. Landslides caused by saturated soil severed the connections between villages and the city. Many cars and trucks were submerged, swept away, or trapped under rubble. Images from Manugu and Moon showed vehicles half submerged in brown, churning waters. Some overturned, while others piled on top of each other, creating chaotic heaps of debris. Across the vast hills, over 242 bridges were damaged or destroyed, and more than 24,000 homes were left in ruins, according to preliminary reports from the city's deputy mayor. Although the exact number of casualties remained unclear, authorities had evacuated over 1 million residents. This represented an unprecedented mass evacuation for Beijing, spanning bustling urban areas to remote mountain villages, all relocated to safety before the floodwaters rose. Major evacuation routes were congested with moving vehicles, buses, trucks, and private cars jammed on flooded roads, their headlights shining in the pouring rain. Temporary shelters were set up in stadiums, schools, and municipal halls, previously bustling places now empty. The large-scale evacuation was key to preventing fatalities, but the psychological toll and infrastructure damage were immense. Water flowing down from the high mountain ranges surged into narrow gorges and creeks, carrying destructive power. Torrents swept down hillsides, carving new channels, uprooting trees, and destroying foundations. In remote areas, power outages and communication failures were widespread. Entire villages were cut off, power lines were down, bridges gone, and roads destroyed. Rescue operations depended on helicopters and temporary teams navigating on foot through muddy, treacherous terrain. Heavy rainfall was forecast to continue into the latter half of the week, keeping the crisis in a state of ongoing emergency. Authorities warned that additional evacuations might be necessary, especially in mountain areas prone to landslides if the rain did not relent. What began as a cascade of warning bells on September 23rd had turned into a full-scale hydrological nightmare by September 25th. Floodwaters swept through the mountain districts and urban outskirts. Over 1 million people were forced to leave their homes to avoid rising waters. Yet devastation continued. Bridges were destroyed, homes collapsed, vehicles were submerged, and vital transportation routes were disrupted. The heavy rain was expected to intensify, putting Beijing and surrounding highlands at risk of even greater disaster. The mass evacuation minimized casualties, but the psychological and infrastructure impacts were significant. Residents need to continue following evacuation instructions, monitor weather updates regularly, and remain vigilant against flooding and landslides. If you found this information useful, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hitting the notification bell will ensure you never miss accurate, calm, and clear weather updates. Some footage in the video may be illustrative and may not reflect the exact events described. Stay informed and stay safe.
DP Ayun tak ada, DP Ayun hilang. DP Ayun tak ada, DP Ayun tak ada lah. Tinggal DP Ayun saja, DP biar.
Nature doesn't send us warnings, but we can. Floods, earthquakes, wildfires, and storms are striking harder and faster than ever before. By subscribing, you are not just watching, you are joining a movement to stay alert, stay informed, and helps others to do the same. Hit the subscribe now because the next disaster won't wait, and neither should you. Be ready and be aware.